Hello, and welcome back to the Second Tier Talk channel where we talk all things championship. We have got a bit of a special video today. We've called in the big guns because we're doing our first ever video about our boyhood club. So we had to call in the big artillery, didn't we? The juggernaut, the titan, the original, the trendsetter of Sheffield United fan channels. Nick from Sheffield United Way. How are we doing, my friend?
I'm better after that. Like my ego is up here now, so I'm going to expecting some money after this.
Oh, you're already charging us £50 per minute. Come on. So, but yeah, obviously, thank you very much for coming on the channel, mate. We really, really appreciate it. Obviously, we've only just started out, but we had to call in a favor for the big guns for the biggest video that we're ever going to do. So, how are you both, boys? Harrison, I'll start with you.
I'm very good, thank you, mate. A lot better for seeing this man in the bottom corner. Makes me very happy, especially a younger child than myself. I'm very happy.
That's it. Harrison is a bit of a childhood fan. Grew up watching Sheffield United way, didn't you, mate?
I did, mate, yeah.
And so did I. So for anyone that is watching this video, I'm going to do it anyway, just out of common courtesy and to make us feel a bit more important. So for anyone that doesn't know, Nick founded the Sheffield United Way channel, which is the biggest Sheffield United fan channel out there. He's been on the overlap preseason for when we've been in the Premier League and stuff like that before on Sky. So he is the big dog. He is the big fish when it comes to Sheffield United. So we are honoured to have him on the channel. So we're not going to delay it anymore, Nick. I'm going to get straight into the questions that we've got you because we've got quite a lot to cover today because it's been a tumultuous summer. We've been on a roller coaster of emotions and we're only 11 games in. It's been chaos. So first question is, what are your thoughts on the club's activities over the summer as a whole?
Oh God! Well, it started with getting rid of Chris Wilder, didn't it? Really, and that is the worst thing that could have happened to Sheffield United at the time. I obviously wanted to keep Chris Wilder, but I wasn't against us trying something different because all we keep doing is employing blokes from South Yorkshire, and it keeps working. Don't get me wrong, but sometime you've got to change it up and really go for that Premier League push and stay there because we've stayed there once. Things happened and we came back down, but we've just, in my lifetime, we've never been that team that stayed in the Premier League for more than one season. So I feel like we needed to try and do something like a Brighton or a Bournemouth, as everybody says. But it massively went wrong. We fell on our backsides. And Ruben Sayers is no more. Well, no, he's not. He's still alive, but he's not a Sheffield United manager anymore. But I think you're alluding to more the transfer business and stuff as well as Chris Wilder. And I think that if Chris Wilder would have still been the manager, I think it would have brought in a completely different clientele of players. But he's got what he's got now, and he seems to be working with them, and it seems to be going upwards. Well, there's only one way it could have done, and that's upwards. Yeah, I don't think we particularly did great business in the transfer window. We did a lot better business right towards the end, which I know Prince Abdullah was always big on finding those deals right at the end of the transfer window. But I don't feel like that's what we did. I think we just realised we'd not done sufficient work in the transfer window, and we just kind of scattergun approach and just tried to sign as many players as we could. And actually, I think doing that has saved us from relegation, because if we'd have only brought in sort of Louis Barre, Tyler Binden, we'd have been in big trouble, because I think half of the team is new pretty much. Yep. So, half of the starting 11 that Chris Wilder's using is pretty much new. So, yeah, it's been a turbulent sort of summer. A lot of views to be made out of it, but I would much rather the Blades have done, really under the radar business and be top of the league than bring in the views, because it's been, up and down. Well, mostly down and then a little bit of up.
Yeah. So that's the whole reason that we're making this video. To be honest with you, obviously we've just had us two most recent games, 2 wins on the bounce. for the first time in quite a long time, definitely the first time this season. And we've got a tough away trip coming up tomorrow. This video is being recorded on Thursday. We have got Preston North End, obviously managed by Hecky, well, affectionately known as Hecky, Paul Heckingbottom, who used to be our manager, got us promoted to the Premier League, couldn't cut it in the Premier League, so we ended up chopping back to Chris Wilder. Running theme, we seem to do that. Anytime anything goes wrong, get Chris back in. So,
can I just stop you there just for 1 second? I don't know if you went to Blackburn, but one of the funniest chants all season happened at Blackburn because we were singing Chrissy Wilder is one of our own. Blackburn fans sung back Chrissy Wilder.
You'll sack him again.
You'll sack him again, and we sang and we'll hire him again or something like that. It was fantastic. And the Blackburn fans were giving United fans claps, and it were a bit weird, but at the same time, it was fantastic. It really was.
Yeah, they're in a strange situation themselves, aren't they? And they have been for quite a long time. They've not got a good relationship with the Venkis, who have owned them for as long as I can remember, pretty much. So they're in a strange situation, but fair play to them. They were good sports. There weren't really much atmosphere there because there were not much for them to shout about, but that were to our benefit, and we managed to get over the line. So that leads me on to my next question. Do you think we have now turned a corner? Are we going to start climbing the league?
Yeah, absolutely. I knew we would at some point. With every defeat, it felt more and more in the future, and the hopes became more faint. But it feels like we've started to move now. The celebrations after the final whistle felt like we'd turned a corner. It felt like some of the players that hadn't, stood up to be counted are starting to do that. And winning games just it breeds confidence, and each player looks more and more confident. Burrows coming on and getting the goal and getting an assist, that's back to Burrows' best. And it's good to see that because he did really, I'm sure he really struggled after that penalty miss against Hull. But yeah, it definitely does feel, there's a feel about the place. There's a feel about Sheffield United. Even in the Southampton game, I thought we were fantastic in that game. And I thought we were going to go on to Hull, beat them, and then continue on like that. But I do think that if the Hull game, we had a game straight after the Hull game. Sorry, a game straight after the Hull game would have put it right instantly. We had a little bit of a blip, in my opinion, at home against Watford. I thought we could have easily put them to the sword. We didn't. It was a bit nervy at times, but that Blackburn game, coming from behind to win that game of football, because that's 2 wins on the bounce, like you said, but coming from behind away from home is always going to leave everybody absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. Harrison, obviously I know you're co-hosting this with me, but I do want to pass that question over to you as well. Can you see us climbing the league now? Do you think we've built a bit of a platform for us to springboard up?
You see, as much as that say, yeah, it's hard because the championship is unforgiving. You don't know what's going to happen. We could go on a good few string of games where we could get, like I say, a good 3 wins the next coming fixtures, but then at the same time we might get a draw or a loss, and it's like you're mediocre, aren't you? I do reckon come end of the season we will be up and around playoffs. I think automatics are way gone now. I think they're Boroughs and Coventry is 100%, but I think playoffs is 100% doable. I said Coventry was in. I seen a stat earlier. Coventry was in the exact same situation we're in now. The same games played, same amount of points, and they got playoffs. So it is doable, and I think we are only 9 points off playoffs. But I'm a big believer in a strong start as you mean to go on. If you get a good start, it sets the tone for the season, doesn't it? And obviously, we had an incredibly rubbish start. I think probably the one, but it felt like being in Premier League again. It felt like being in Premier League again, getting embarrassed week in, week out, and leaving ground after 20 odd minutes. It weren't very good. But I do reckon come end of the season we'll be up there. And I hope we are, because on paper, the group of players we've got are incredibly good championship quality players. Obviously, Japhet Tanganga, one of the best centre backs in the league, if not the best. You've got Danny Ings, dropped from Premier League, natural goal scorer. There is the quality there. I just think at the minute it's just trying to gel it together a little bit. Like we saw glimpses, the goal against Blackburn, not Blackburn, the goal against Watford. Probably one of the nicest goals I've seen us score for a long time. This play from Tanganga and Aware. And to me, that showed the team's gelling a bit more now, because we had nothing under Sellers. I'm hoping come end of the season we'll be in a lot different position. I do think we will be.
Yeah.
Harrison, I
go on,
think
mate.
it's a really bad league. I don't think, compared to last season, this is a really bad league. And I think Coventry's done really well, but I can't see Coventry going and doing a Leeds or a Burnley. I think they've had a really good start, but they will have a hiccup at some point. I
Yeah.
know we said this about Leeds and Burnley and stuff, but they're not Leeds and Burnley. They don't have the players that Leeds and Burnley have got. And who knows? Someone might come in for Lampard and take him away. That could upset the apple cart. I don't think Borough are what everyone thought they were. Everyone's beating everyone. Ipswich hammered us 5-0, then go and lose 3-0 at home to Charlton. Like, this is not a good league. So if we can put a string of results together, and this is actually a really favourable string of fixtures for us. We've won 2 in a row. There's nothing to say that we can't go to Preston. Bearing in mind that they've just lost 2 games on the bounce. They've just lost at home to escapes me. It might have been Birmingham, yeah. So that's 2 defeats in a row. Who's not to say we'll go and beat them there? And then we've got a game at home against Derby, which Derby have done sort of okay. But I've gone from thinking every team's like a world beater in this league, beating us every week, to actually looking at it now, thinking now we're putting some results together and actually looking like a team. We could fly up this league, and I genuinely think that.
It don't look as scary anymore, does it?
At the start of the season, like we saw the league, obviously you got Southampton dropped down, Ipswich dropped down, Leicester dropped down. Obviously, they didn't really lose a lot of the key players. I think Southampton lost Fernandez and Sugarawa. I don't think Sugarawa were really key, but they still kept the main group of players. And I think everyone started seeing thinking Ipswich, Southampton, Leicester will be up there, the big hitters. With us as well, obviously missing out on playoffs very narrowly. But obviously they've underperformed. And then go back to Coventry. In our Coventry video, me and Con did say if they don't get promoted this time round, they will be buggered because they'll get all the good players poached. And I think for this season for Coventry, it's now or never. They've been that close that many times in recent seasons. If they don't do this season with the start they've had, I reckon it'll go quite downhill for them.
Hopefully, we're the catalyst to them going downhill because we have got them in about 10 days' time, I believe, or just over that, 11, 12 days' time. So I think, just following on from what Harrison said, I think at the beginning of this season, the like it were going to be a lot tougher than what it was last year in terms of the overall competition that was in there with your Ipswiches, Bristol City, who recruited well in the summer. But now teams are just turning over heavy favourites every single week so far. Wednesday have won a couple of games with the squad that they've got. So it's a crazy league, and I could genuinely see anything happening. I do think Coventry are favourites, and I do think Coventry will get over the line just for the massive attacking talent that they've got. Brandon Thomas Asante is coming to his own now. Victor Torp, Radoni yet to come back from injury. So they have got a lot, but even though we are down where we are at the minute, 21st, 9 points off the playoffs, there's nothing to stop us from going on a good run and getting ourselves in the mix. If it starts clicking, and it looks like it is, we might be eating his words come Friday night. We might end up losing 2-3-0 to Preston, and then we're all down in the dumps again. But I think we have definitely hit a bit of a baseline level now, and we know what to expect as a minimum. And if we carry on playing like we are currently, we'll easily finish in the top half of the table. And if we take that next jump, sky's the limit, pretty much. So we did spend quite a long time on that question, though, but I love it. Conversation's flowing. So I'm going to move on to the next one that I've got, Nick. This one, I'll start with you. Do you think the board gave Ruben Sayers an impossible task with how late they did the business in the transfer window? Was it always just going to be an impossible mountain to climb?
Yeah, that is true. That is massively true, because I don't know what the board were thinking at the time, because they obviously went in with Tyler Bindon. By the way, that transfer came from absolutely nowhere. And maybe because Chris Wilder's not the manager anymore, there's no whispers, or there were no whispers. But yeah, that I think we all were a bit worried about that signing at the time, because he'd not had any championship experience, and he'd only really played for Reading, who, let's be honest, they weren't anywhere near the top of League One. So I was worried about that signing. And then we bring in Louis Barry, and it's kind of like he could be good, but again, he's not got any experience in the Championship because the season before he got injured really, really early for Hull City. He'd done well in lower leagues, but that's two lower leagues players that we'd signed that it was a chance. We were taking a chance on. We'd lost a lot of players, not just the two permanents that everyone talks about in Vinny Souza and El Ahmedhodzic. We'd also lost all the loan players that you completely forget about. The Gilchrist, Harry Clark. I know he went back, but Hamza Chowdhury, Brereton Diaz, Raksaku put numbers on the board last season. We lost a lot of players that people just forget about because they're loans, and we needed to replace them. And obviously, we ended up doing that. But again, scattergun approach. I feel like Wilder's the perfect man to come in and kind of, merge all these players together and try and come up with some sort of recipe for success. But Ruben Sayers didn't have that in his locker for me because he'd not got that experience. He'd taken Southampton down, which he was never going to keep them up. He did okay at Reading in League. Well, no, he actually did a bit better than okay at Reading in League One, and then he just about kept Hull up in the Championship. He'd never had any experience at the top of the Championship, and that's what we needed to do. It seemed like, well, we need to go and get somebody that has won the Championship or at least got promotion to the Championship, and we didn't do that, and it just seemed criminal. I could see why Prince Abdullah brought in Slav back in the day because he got promotions under his belt. It didn't work out. Fair enough. Hold your hands up, and heck, he did the job in the end. But I don't know what they were thinking with Ruben Sayers, and I know your question wasn't what were they thinking about Ruben Sayers. It was about the transfer dealings. But if they'd have backed him fully and got in the players early that he wanted, I don't think that we would have been any better off, in all honesty. I really don't.
I think adding on to that as well, I think when you make a massive decision like sacking Chris Wilder off the back of a 92-point season, you don't bring in like a risk like a Ruben Sayers. You bring in a proven manager. You don't bring in someone might work, it might do well, it might not. You bring in an absolute obviously not now, but like a name like Slavica Jokanovic back in the day. Obviously, you don't go for someone who's struggled at all, managed in League One and got relegated from Premier League on a short deal at Southampton. You don't do that. You bring in someone with your name, and I think also with Sayers, it were kind of buggered to begin with because obviously he came in, obviously Binner come out of nowhere. Barry came with like a week or two after, but there was that long gap of not bringing any players. And like if a new manager comes into a new team, obviously he changes formation, he wants his players. Just like that's what shot Slav in the foot because obviously when Slav came in, he inherited a squad which wasn't his squad. He played wingers. We played the first game of the season with Ben Osborne as a winger. Says a lot. And I think to be fair, even if we did back Sayers, I just don't think he got it as a Sheffield United manager. There was no connection with the fans, and obviously Sheffield United, we thrive off fans. End of the day, we make Brown Lane a fortress, but it needs to be that link between the players and the fans. And under Sayers, just there wasn't that link. There was something missing. Obviously now Wilder's come back. We know how good Wilder is and how connected to the fans he is, because obviously he's one of us. So I think that's what we're missing, obviously, because we thrive massively off fans, especially home support.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. I think it tells you all you need to know about the Ruben Sayers appointment when you could see his body language after 3, 4, 5 games. He looked a broken man. I know the atmosphere turned toxic, but in a way, it was justified. I think it was a little bit over the top at times. Don't get me wrong. I was someone that was willing to give him a little bit more time than what he got. I was happy that he ended up going after the Ipswich game. I thought that was the right time on the back of a bad result like that. And there were some people that were arguing that we should have got rid of him before the international break. And I understand that as well. But you could just tell it was too big of an occasion for him. It wasn't somebody, it was never going to be a good mix. We don't have a good history with foreign managers. It's never something that we've thrived under. We've always thrived under British coaches. The fan base are pretty much stuck in that ideology of it needs to be a British coach, someone that understands the culture, someone that I do think it was just pretty much an impossible task for him, which is obviously where the question come from. So moving on, because we have spent a lot of time on that one as well, rolls into the last question that I asked. Do you think it was the right decision to bring Chris Wilder back, or should we have looked elsewhere?
I both agree and disagree. I think that at some point we need to get away from being Chris Wilder FC. Ollie said this on our channel a lot, and I do agree to a certain extent. But at that time, we just needed somebody for the players to respect, somebody to come in, a big name or someone that they knew. I think Dyche would have done the same. Obviously, he's now at Forest, which I didn't expect that, but. I think Dyche would have taken that job and they'd have given him the respect instantly. I think Steve Cooper would have got that respect instantly. Managers that have been there and done that would have got that respect instantly, or a manager with a personality or a big personality. I would have been happy with any of them really, but Chris Wilder coming back feels familiar. We all know how, Chris Wilder takes people under the wings or the players that want to play for him. He takes one of the wings, makes them feel really special, a bit like Neil Warnock used to do. He's obviously got a huge, fantastic relationship with all the rest of the players. You saw Sidney Peck's face when Wilder walked through the door, and lots of other players like that as well. So I think it was the right decision because we needed somebody to stop the rot, someone to get us moving in the right direction. Steve Cooper might not have got us moving as quick because I don't think he's a Chris Wilder or a Dyche that's going to be kicking doors down and shouting in people's faces. And I think that's what they needed. They needed a reality check because the amount of fans that said we've got a terrible team or we've had a terrible window. I don't think we had a terrible window. I think we had a mediocre window. And we got a little bit lucky with a few players that we brought in. But I think that we always had a good team. You just look at it on paper, that is a good team. That is a good squad. I'm not saying that's top 2, top 3, top 4, but it's up there. Yeah. And lots of fans thought that, they turned bad overnight. It's like when we had Slav and you're looking at these players and you're looking at John Fleck and you're looking at Norwood and you're thinking they're bad players. And then Hecky comes in and you're like, oh, they're great again. And it's like they don't turn bad players overnight. And that's what it looks like. And then obviously Chris Wilder coming back, gives them a bit of fire in the belly. So I think it was the right decision to bring Chris back, but I would have accepted any big character or anyone that's been there and done that just for the players to respect and just get us moving in the right direction, because we could have easily, but if we'd have made the wrong choice and then gone, I don't know, 6, 7 defeats in the next 10, we could have been looking at a third manager. And then when you're looking at a third manager and a fourth manager, that's relegation written all over it.
100% turn into Watford. No good, no good. So I'm going to throw it across to you, Harrison, because I know you've got a couple of questions that you want to ask. I'll go back to mine after. I'm going to let you do yours.
You see, before going to my question, I'm going to add on to about the question you asked Nick regarding Wilder coming back. See, obviously, me and you, Connor, we think quite alike when it comes to United, and obviously opinions and stuff. We are quite alike with the same opinions. Obviously, me and you were both not against the idea of Wilder heading out in the summer. Obviously, we wasn't.
We were ready for a change, weren't we?
We were, yeah.
Change in style.
And then it comes to obviously Sellers being sacked. Obviously, rightly so. Both happy about that decision. But then it comes to Chris Wilder. There is no man better to get a tune out of Sheffield United side than Chris Wilder, and especially the mess we was in. Unfortunately, as much as I would have loved a Gary O'Neill, he wouldn't have been nowhere near how the effect Chris Wilder has had on the squad. So it's hard because we can't keep going back to Wilder every time things go to rubbish. Pretty much, we can't keep doing it because it's a bad cycle. Like I say, it's like a toxic egg. It's like a toxic egg you keep going back to. You can't keep doing it. It's not good for you. But it works. But how long is it going to work for? I'm hoping, say, because it's always this spell, it's not going to last forever. It never does. So hopefully, when it comes to the end of this spell with Wilder, I'm hoping he moves upstairs and he brings in his successor, if that makes sense. Because I don't think out of the manager like Sheffield United Football Club, obviously I'm only 19, so the best manager I've had in my lifetime is obviously Chris Wilder. But I think when he does come to the point where he moves on or he leaves again, he should have a say in the next manager because no one gets it like he does.
Yeah.
But that's what I think, anyways.
So I agree with you on that one, mate.
Mm.
I just want to touch on it a little bit because I've got a bit of an analogy when it comes to Wilder with Sheffield United. Have you both watched the Dark Knight Rises?
Yep.
Yeah. So Nick, you've watched it. When Bruce Wayne is down the well in the prison and he has to make the climb.
Yep.
He starts climbing with the rope initially, doesn't he? And then he gets to the top, he has to make the jump and he misses the jump every single time and he falls because he's got the safety rope on. And then the bloke tells him to make the climb, you have to get rid of the safety rope. To get to that next level, you have to get rid of the safety rope. Chris Wilder is our safety rope, in my opinion. He's the safe option. You know that the club's not going to die while he's there, but you are limited in how far you can go and it can only take you so far. I think it was the perfect time to bring him back because he gets the majority of the fans on side. And I think the club have made the right decision in not giving him an extremely long-term contract. He's got the remainder of the season and then the following season, hasn't he? I think that's the perfect length for contract to give him because we need to get rid of the safety rope at some point and we need to have a future without Chris Wilder as the manager of the club. Whether he's at the club in some other capacity, that's absolutely fine. But he is limited in how far he can take us. So I do agree with you on that, Harrison. So I'm going to let you go on with your questions, mate. Throw them out to the room.
See,
Can I just
most
say,
of my
I
questions-
love that analogy. Loved it so much. Well done,
Love
Connor.
that, mate. Thank you very much.
I've never watched a film and I thought that was quite a good analogy, to be honest. But most of my questions have been answered because it's the same thing as what wants to be sent into. Obviously, we're on sellers, a bad start to the season. But I have got quite a simple question. Obviously, January's around the corner. Where can you see us strengthening in January, Nick?
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Okay, so I don't know what sort of system we're trying to play right now because some people are saying we're playing 3 centre backs and wing backs. I don't see that. I think we're playing 4 at the back. Tanganga is very, very wide for me. So I don't know whether we're going 2 up top, whether we're going 1 up top, whether we're going wing backs, whether we're going 4 at the back. I just don't know right now. We've got obviously a lot of really handy midfielders. If we can keep Tom Davies fit, if we can keep Ollie, if we can get Ollie Orblaster back playing and keep him fit for the rest of the season, that's like a new signing, and that's a very, very good signing. Even half the man he was before he got injured would be really good for us. I think City Peck will get better. I know you guys. I don't know if it's both you guys, but I know Connor's not a massive fan. Yeah, fair enough. Ogbenny will get better. I think he's been one of the shining lights. He just runs and runs and runs. His delivery will get better eventually. He's coming back from a really, really bad injury. So I like him on that right-hand side. He gets a lot of the ball, and that means that it's not, going the other way. I do feel like we need more quality in the final third, as in creativity. Maybe a couple more wingers. I don't think we necessarily need a striker. Everyone bangs on about we need a striker. If we're going to bring a striker in, I think Tom Cannon's got to go the other way, either out on loan or look at cutting his losses. But Tom Cannon, I know Chris Wilder keeps bigging him up and saying he's going to come good. I can't see it. I just can't see it. He's absolutely nowhere near the level for me, and I don't understand how he scored so many goals for Stoke. Maybe it's the price tag weighing heavy on him, or maybe it's just the fact that Tyrese Campbell was so good last season. We're used to that standard, but he needs to be at that standard, and I'm sure Danny Ings will be once he gets a run of games and gets that first goal, because that goal's just around the corner for Ings. I know it is, but if we're going to bring a striker in, and look at playing 2 up top, we need to bring a big lad up front. We need to not. I was so for getting rid of Kiefer Moore because Kiefer Moore is not a top end of the Championship player. However many goals he scores for Wrexham, he was never going to score those goals for us because we don't play the same way that Wrexham do. So for me, it needs to be someone a bit like Ollie McBurney, believe it or not. He needs to have good feet, and he needs to be good in the air, and he needs to bully players. And I don't know who that player is, but I would like to see that type of player. But like I say, I don't think we need 3-4 strikers. Well, I think we need 3 strikers, but I don't think we need 4. But yeah, I think the defense is pretty solid enough. I think left back sorted. I think them two are going to be going at it all season, because McCallum, I thought he was fantastic against Watford, and he's had a taste of first team football, and he's going to want that taste back again. And Wilder might swap them in and out for certain games depending on how the other team sets up. I don't like. I like Tang. I think Tanganga's good at right back, but I think Tanganga's so much better than being a right back. I think he's a better footballer than the other 2 centre backs. That's obviously why he's playing out there, and obviously showed that he can link up with Callum O'Hare, etc., and start attacks and score goals. But I don't like him being out there. I would like to see us buy a really solid right back, and then maybe have those 3, McGuinness, me, and Tanganga, all battling it out for 2 spots or even 3 spots. I'd like to see Sariki come good, because I think Sariki could be a fantastic right wing back. But yeah, I think it's mostly creativity. I think the defense will look after itself for the majority of the season. I still think that it's probably a better defense than last season. But yeah, in that final third, we need some more creativity in the middle. I think Callum O'Hare has been fantastic, but I still don't think he's not that number 10 for me. And I think we need someone that is a number 10. I'm not saying that get Callum O'Hare out of the team. It's a team game, it's a squad game, and the only teams that get promoted are teams that have got a lot of quality in the final third, and they're kind of chopping and changing them. You're bringing on, just look at the Blackburn game. We brought on Burrows, we brought on Brooks, and we brought on Campbell. Completely changed the game. So I want to see our bench looking scary, and the other team to be like, "Oh my God, look at their bench, look at their team, but look at their bench." And right now, I think when Campbell's playing and Burrows is playing, you're looking at the bench and you're thinking, it's not that scary, and I want it to be much more scary.
Completely agree, mate. So I just want to, before you do your next question, Harrison, I want to throw a name out there to you, Nick.
I know where he's going with this one.
Harrison knows I'm a massive fan of him. He's out in the Serie A at the minute, playing for Udinese. 2 goals in 7 games so far. Absolute unit, strong, powerful. Keenan Davis. What do you think?
Oh, I've not heard that name in a while. What's that from now? I've not heard that name in a while. Feels like it's like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or something. But yeah, don't get me wrong. When he's played at Bramall Lane, well, I think he had a really good game at Bramall Lane. I think he had a really poor game at Bramall Lane. I'm trying to remember who he plays for. My knowledge on players that haven't played for Sheffield United isn't fantastic, but he is an absolute battering ram. He's quick and he's scary. He's very, very scary to play against. I would not be against that. No, I think that'd be a good signing. I really do. I didn't realize he was out there though.
Yeah, he's been out there for the last 3 years or so.
When I hear Keenan Davis, I get flashbacks to a playoff semi-final against Forest, and he just absolutely bullied and absolutely battered our defenders. You're like, oh my God, stop, please stop. It's getting embarrassing. But he was very good on that day.
Yeah.
Was he at Watford? Did he go to Watford?
Yes.
It were 3 teams I remember him at: Watford, Forest and Villa. Those are the 3.
Yeah, Villa. I thought he weren't very good for Watford against us, if I remember rightly, but I might be wrong. But yeah, I remember that semi-final. That was horrible. Fortunately, it didn't come to a lot in the end. We sorted it out in the second leg, and it could have gone either way. But yeah, no. But honestly, that was one of my best away days ever. That, and if we'd have beaten them, in that away end was just pandemonium.
It were limbs,
it were limbs. And Ollie Oblast were actually sat right in front of us as well. Ollie Oblast sat in front of us, and Tyler Smith and Karen Gordon right behind us. It was just, it was a fantastic occasion. But anyway, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, if Illiman had just put that chance away, it could have been so different.
And Jack Robinson, like throwing himself to the ground. You were around the keeper already. Just tap it in, mate.
I know.
Yeah,
he's not our problem anymore.
We should have beat him.
Someone else's problem now, thank God.
Yeah, next question anyway, mate.
But
Let's go
anyways,
for it.
all my questions are now gone because I think everything what I wanted to ask have already been answered. So I think shall we move on to the keep or sell bit, Connor?
So I have got I've got another one. I had a question: how does Sheffield United thrive after Chris Wilder leaves the club? But I think we've pretty much touched on that anyway. So I'll miss that one out. This one is going to be tough to judge because I know you're very much the same as me. One week you think we're winning league, the next week you think, oh, it's doom and gloom. We're in a relegation battle. We're going to struggle. Where do you expect us to finish this season based on what we've seen so far?
So it's so difficult, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
so difficult looking at those last two games because we could go up. We could go up in the playoffs. We could go on a really, really good run. We're 9 points off the playoffs, is it right now?
9 points, yeah.
That's not a lot, especially when a team's absolutely motoring and everyone else is beating everybody else. I'm not saying we are motoring, but if we did go to Preston and beat them and then we beat Derby at home, that's going to be the one that we'll end up losing. And Rhian Brewster will score an hat-trick or something.
Yeah, probably.
But I think, and I know you want me to give you an actual position, but I think it's good. The highest we'll finish is 5th, in my opinion. The absolute highest. I can't see it. I think there's too many good teams with too many good players to see us finishing any higher than 5th. But I think it's between 8th and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've got us after that. I was thinking then, and I first number what came to mind was 7th. You see, it's in that area. It's hard to judge because, like I said, it could go either way. But I do reckon we do go on that charge, if that makes sense. Like you said, I'm in full agreement with Nick on this one, Connor.
Yeah. So I pretty much agree with you both. To be fair, I can see us finishing definitely in the top half of the table. Where I'm not sure yet, because what does worry me is that even though we've had a poor start to the season, there's a lot of other teams that were favourites to be up there that have also had poor starts. So you've had some teams like your Stokes, your Middlesbrough. I don't think Middlesbrough were really fancied to be up there this season. That have had a lot better starts than what they were expected to. Coventry are probably slightly exceeding the expectations that they had. I think everyone had them in the top 4, pretty much top 5. But a lot of your preseason favourites have not had good starts. So, yeah, fair enough. We might have turned a bit of a corner and we might be looking at climbing the table now. But when are Ipswich going to start doing that? When are Southampton going to start doing that? When are Leicester going to hit their form to take them comfortably into the top 3, top 5?
Let's kick Leicester out of it. Like they needed to be near on perfect this season because they're going to get a points deduction. Then how many it's going to be? I know we might as well have got a points deduction with how many, but the fact that we only just started winning games of football, but that's going to be a big detriment to them. They're going to have their heads down after that, and they've not pulled up any trees so far. I think it's going to be tough for them. I think we'll finish above Leicester. In all honesty, that sounds crazy right now where we are, and they're not. They're not down near where we are, but they've not had the start that they needed to have, in my opinion, to be right up there. So I think they'll get a decent points deduction, and I don't think they're not gonna be challenging for top 2. I think they'll finish just outside the playoffs, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I can see that happening, but that's just the worry that I've got currently. Obviously, we're not the only team that's expected to go on a little bit of a charge at some point. There's a few that are underperforming. So I'm gonna say that we will scrape 6th. And I think if we do scrape 6th, we will go up through the playoffs. I think if we get the playoffs this season, it is written in the stars for us to go up through the playoffs. But
we've never done that though, have we? We've never
No.
snuck into the playoffs on a real high. I think it was Nigel Clough that season in League One where we were winning game. I think we won about 3,000 games in a row, and we just missed out on 6th place. And we 100% would have gone up that season, but we just missed out. But
yeah,
we've never been in that position where I feel like we've never really had a great run into the playoffs before. And
I do just want to burst your bubble a bit. We did the
Go on.
Gibbs White season under Eki. We had a good run to get into the playoffs. We beat Fulham on the last day 4-0.
Yeah,
I think it were.
yeah. We didn't have as good a run as Forest, though, did we? Clearly,
No, they were
motor
obviously they
behind
went
us.
from they went from bottom to third, didn't they, or bottom to fourth? So yeah, they had a ridiculous run. I think we were a bit unlucky to end up with Forest in the playoffs. I think if we'd have maybe met Forest in the playoff final, we could have got it done potentially over a one-off game, but maybe not. But yeah, I think it'd have to be this season. If we get in the playoffs this season on a good run from the start that we've had, we'll have earned it. We'll have been there on merit, and we'll be flying. We will be on an all-time high, basically. So that is pretty much it for all the questions, Nick. We have just got one little segment for you. We are going to do a bit of a keep, loan, or sell segment on the players that we've got in the squad. Some of them are going to be players that we brought in on loan, so obviously that'll just be a send back one. Some of them are going to be first team fixtures, and some of them are going to be the academy lads. So I will start you off with a nice, easy one. I already know the answer to this one. Tom Cannon.
So difficult. Somebody said on our channel earlier on, send him on loan to a League One club. I think that's ridiculous. That'd be so embarrassing for him to be sent out on loan to a League One club after a 10 million move. I think I would. What do I want? I don't know. This is a video that I actually wanted to get you on our channel to talk about, Connor. So that message will be coming your way.
Yeah.
What do I want to see from Tom Cannon? I want to see him scoring bloody goals. That's what I want to see. But I don't think. I think he stays. I think he stays the full season. I know that's not what you asked me, but that's the answer that you're getting. I think he stays with us all season. I don't see any other way of him leaving, unless somebody comes in with a 4, 5, 6 million pound bid for him, and I think we'll just cut ties and let him go. But that's not happening.
Yeah. That's fair enough, mate. I understand that one. Harrison, I think I know your answer on this one, mate. But Tom Cannon.
Do I have to tell my answer, or shall I just carry on with video? Because I don't want to be horrible to the bloke.
So we'll keep it. We're not going to go in on him too hard. So just give us
next
a brief
question.
One. No, just give us an answer, mate. Just a brief one, though.
I'd say so. He don't. For me, he's had plenty of chances. He hasn't proved himself whatsoever. So people can't say he hasn't had the chance, because he has. And I think we do need a lot better backup striker than what we have got, because for me, he's not the one.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think just when I look at Tom Cannon, I just don't think he looks like he fits in with the squad at all. He sticks out like a sore thumb to me. I don't see what he offers the team in terms of goal scoring, which is apparently supposed to be his bread and butter, but he doesn't make runs that strikers should be making, in my opinion. He makes runs for the sake of making runs a lot of the time. You see the difference between Danny Ings zigzagging, dragging defenders with him, trying to make it difficult for him. Tom Cannon, I could stand there, like overweight as old, could probably run for 30 seconds and I'd be able to stop Tom Cannon 9 times out of 10. I said that I weren't going to go too hard on him, and I really have. So,
yeah,
sell. He'd be gone for me. So I'll leave it there. He'd go for me. Next one, Louis Barry.
I'm back.
He's got to go back, Hannah. He's got to go back. Bless him. My son's called Louis, and he loves Louis Barry for that reason. But he's still got to go back. I want him to go. I want him to do well. I really want him to do well, but he's got to go back. He's not at this level.
No, the physicality is just not there. I had. You might like this one as well, Nick. Have you watched Goon, the hockey film?
Oh, Sean William Scott.
Yeah,
I watched it once. It was terrible, and I don't remember anything from it.
I love it. So there's a player in Goon called Xavier Laflamme who ends up with a concussion. He ends up getting laid out, and he's terrified of contact after that point. That's how I see Louis Barry after the injury that he got last season. Good player. There's a lot of technical ability there, but he looks like a scared little boy. A lot of the time, he looks like a boy playing a man's game, and I don't think that's his fault. Seems like a really nice lad, and I think he tries. I just think he's not capable of doing what we need him to do. So personally, I'd send him back as well.
Can I just jump in and just say, I feel like under Sayers, he had a lot of the ball. He had if anything was going to happen for us, it was going to come through Louis Barre. And I don't think his final ball was good enough. I don't think he's quick enough. I don't think he's strong enough. But he was trying and trying and trying. And then against Watford, Wilder gave him that opportunity. It's like, right, you're in a team that's got, I would say, slight more confidence. Go out and show, like, you're not going to be tooed up on. We've got Ogbeni the other side. We've got a stronger midfield. We're playing better. Go and play your game. And it was his worst game of the season. It was nowhere near the level, and I could not believe it. And after that, I was like, Louis Barry's not going to play another game for United.
Yeah, really, really struggled, mate. And I think, Harrison, you'll be in agreement with this. Yeah,
exactly the same boat.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. And I think this one is also going to be very similar answers from all three of us. But we'll start with you again, Nick. Tyler Bindon.
Yeah, he's got to go back, can't he? But I'm just trying to think who else, what other centre backs we've got. Maybe we do keep him. The only way that we keep him is if we don't bring any other centre backs in, which we will. We'll get rid of Tyler Bindon and we'll bring in somebody else more Wilder-esque, in my opinion. And yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. Harrison?
I am exactly the same. I was trying to be optimistic when he first signed because I was trying to read reviews from Reading fans. He said, "Oh, he's a brilliant player. He's destined for Premier League." And I thought, "Oh, Buzzy might have got actually quite a decent player here," but he's not what I thought it was going to be. And if we manage to send Bindon back in January and end up with 6'7" Harry Suter, I'll be very happy.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Right. This one's going to be a bit controversial because I think I know everybody's answers on this one, but it's going to cause, there's going to be a bit of difference on this one. We're not all going to be in agreement. City Peck.
For me, keep.
Come on. That's not a question.
It is a question.
That's not a question. What else is going to happen with City Peck? What else?
Well, he's going to stay in it, but if you had the option, so if you had the option, I'll rephrase the question. If you had the option where the figures that were getting thrown around in the summer around City Peck were on the table, and we had an offer in for him, concrete, if we accept it, he goes. Would you sell him to bring somebody in that is better and ready-made for the Championship now?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
because I really liked him last season, and I know Vinny Souza probably helped him out a lot, and a young lad needs that. But I was coming round to the idea in the summer that City Peck might go, and I were okay with that. So I get what you're saying, but I think he will have a really, really good career. But yeah, right now I think there are better players out there that could help us push us up the table a bit more.
Completely agree, mate. And I think he's got a good attitude, and I can't knock his effort that he puts in games, and he clearly loves the club. I don't doubt that. I just don't think that his technical ability is where it needs to be yet, and we could get someone for a similar amount of money or less that would be more influential to the team now, which I think we need. We need results now.
See, I think, say if like an Asula offer came in, like Newcastle offer for Asula, I think we'd be idiots to not accept it. But do I think one's going to come in? No. So for me, on face value, I'd keep him unless a silly money offer like that comes in. It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, completely agree. So we'll do one more then. I think I know the answer to this one as well, based on his last couple of performances. And me and Harrison are massive fans of him. We love him, and we liked him when he first come in, and we're glad that he's finally getting an opportunity. Jibril Samari.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like him. I've liked him since he come in as well. I think everything about I feel like he's just really raw. Like everything to his game seems to be there, and that game against Blackburn the other night, that just screamed. He understands it. He gets it. He gets how to be a Sheffield United player, and I hope he just uses that as a springboard to take his season off, because I love a long-legged central midfielder, Patrick Vieira, that just kind of glides through teams, and he feels like that sort of player. And I want to see more of him. So I hope that when Tom Davis is back and Arblas is back, he doesn't just get pushed further and further down the pecking order. I'm not saying he's the same sort of player, but I can see that happening, and I don't want that to happen because I really, really do think that he's got a big future.
Harrison?
I'd say keep. I think how he has been the last 2 games, it's very good. Can't knock him at all. If he carries on like that, there's no need to send him back at all. And I know there is in his transfer, there is a clause to make it permanent based on promotion. I think that's right. So if we do go up, I would be not against going for him permanently one bit.
Yeah, completely agree. Right, Nick, I am sorry we have kept you a lot longer than what we were supposed to be keeping you. So
I'm enjoying it. Keep these players coming.
I am going to give you one more because you have just jogged my memory with this one. And I think it could be conflicting answers between all three of us because I've been flip-flopped on this one quite a lot myself. Tom Davis.
We just keep him for as long as possible. I think next season, is it his last season? This,
yeah. In fact, has he got one more?
I think he's on a 3-year deal. This will be his 3rd season, so I do think this is his last season as under contract.
I think we try and keep him, and I think we offer him really, really reduced terms than what it will be on. But I would be easily swayed to say let him go because he's the best form of the best players are those that are available week in, week out, and we've not seen anywhere near enough from him. And we all know he's a fantastic player when he plays, but it's just not enough. So like the Brewster thing, if he accepts a lot lower wage, then maybe, but I can't see that happening. I think he will go, and I would. I know I've given 2 answers there, but I'd love to see us keep him and him be fit for half a season. But I'm going back on what I said. I think he will go, and I think he should go because we're just not getting enough from him.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I said it the other day. He's on his day. He's absolutely fantastic when he's fit and when he's firing. And we've seen just flashes of the quality because we've not been able to keep him fit for more than 2 or 3 games, which is a massive shame because there's a brilliant player in there. But I think he's at that stage in his career now. He's going to bounce around from championship team to championship team. Teams hoping that they can just be the ones to keep him fit and then end up landing on a bit of a gold mine. But I don't see it happening personally. So I'd get rid.
See, for me, it's hard because I do like Tom Davis. I do like him. And I think on his day when he's playing in his fit, he is the best centre we've got at the club. But like Prince Abdullah said, the best ability is availability. And unfortunately, Tom Davis's availability is 5 games a season. And for the wage he's getting, is it worth it? No. He's taking a wage off someone who can play more than 5 games a season. So it's hard because I do like the bloke. And he seems like a really nice bloke as well. And he is a good footballer. It's just a shame his legs are made out of glass.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. And I think that is a good place to end it off. We have gone on for 54 minutes, gents. We have had a fantastic conversation. I think we just enjoy talking Blades, especially now that there's something to shout about a little bit.
Something to smile about rather than cry.
I think if
this would have been a 7-minute video, 7-minute video a few games ago.
Yeah, I think it'd have been really, really quickly. 1-word answers after that, but there's positivity there now, and there's things that we can look forward to. So hopefully, this video will be going out on Friday just before we play Preston. So hopefully, we are on the way to a result. We managed to get something there. Roll on to Derby, get one there, go and turn Coventry over, do their undefeated streak, just send them on an absolute collapse. But Might be being a bit
We're going on a title
optimistic.
charge. We're
Yeah,
going on a
that's it,
title
mate.
charge.
We're winning league unbeaten for the rest of the season. So thank you very much for coming on, Nick. Obviously, really, really appreciate it, mate. You've been an absolute diamond tonight. Got plenty of content, plenty of stuff, plenty of talking points. And Harrison, obviously, thanks for co-hosting as always, mate.
No problem.
Nick's socials will be down in the description. Everyone that's watching this video will already know who Nick is and probably already follow him anyway. But we're going to do it out of courtesy because he's taking his time out. And he, like I said before, he is the biggest Sheffield United YouTuber out there. Best family-friendly content that you can get out there as well as Nick, as well as Hal and Ollie. Hal and Ollie, obviously good lads. Noah. And Simon, all the lads on the Sheffield United Way channel, all brilliant, all make time for everybody else. So really, really appreciate it. But to all the blades out there, let us know what you think in the comments about some of the talking points. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more championship related content. There will be more blades related videos that come out in the future. This is the first one, and there's plenty of other championship content on there if that's your sort of thing. So give it a watch. Let us know what you think, and thank you very much for watching. Take care and have a good one.